reaction when, where were you and what was your reaction to Javon Hargrave, son?
Yeah, where was I? Probably at home, jumping up and down on my bed. I mean, that was just huge. I had no idea. They kind of kept that one pretty under wraps, and when it came out, I mean, that's huge of a get. I think he was probably the top free agent on the market regardless of position. So, he's going to make a huge impact for our defense.
Have you had an opportunity to spend some time with him?
Yeah, we spent some time last week together. I was just kind of asking him how his route was, being on different teams, like how his body was feeling and going into, I think it's year 8. And so, he's just excited to be a part of the team, and he knew he wanted to go somewhere where he was going to win right away. That was important to him, and that just shows you the type of guy that he is.
How much do you study other defenses, and more specifically, if you've watched his film, how much did you see him kind of impact what the Eagles were able to do around him?
Yeah, I mean, all year long, you're keeping up with the top defenses in the league, right? You want to know like how your defense stacks up against the best. That was something that we looked at all year, and the Eagles were up there every week, and it was because of that front four, front five, guys rotating in and out, and Javon was right there in the middle, causing havoc the whole way through. I've seen stats of how many QB pressures he had by himself, and it's kind of just like it's mind-boggling, just to add that to a position of need for us. So I know he's going to make a big impact.
What's your first impressions of Steve Wilks been?
He fits right in. It's been a seamless transition. He's come in and he's taken a hold of everything, and we all respect the heck out of him already. As our coach, the type of guy that he is, you can tell that he genuinely cares about his players. It's important for him to build those relationships with us, and we're starting at ground zero again. Everything we've done in the past is behind us. It's a new year, a new opportunity, and I think that's what's exciting. And I know Steve's going to do an amazing job getting us ready.
As of right now, does it look like he's going to use the things that y'all do well and then just kind of go from there?
Yeah, I think that's something that was important for, bringing a new coach in that I guess he is willing to learn what we do, and obviously adjust things to what he believes is going to make us better. That's his job, is making us the best defense and continuing to raise the bar. And I know he has high expectations for us. He's coming in just a super humble guy, super humble, ready to get to work, and we're all feeding off of that same exact energy.
You a draft fan? Do you watch the draft and
of course
put people in slots? And
absolutely, yeah. I mean, every year you see guys who are rookies who make a huge impact, and you never know how big of a role certain guys are going to play in that given year. But the draft is where guys like me, third round draft pick, come in and develop, become key players for the team. And so every year I love to see who's going to be the next one up.
do you remember what
Do you petition for anybody? Did anybody ever
No petitioning. I feel like the further and further away I get from the college game, it's hard for me to keep up with who's coming in and out of the draft, especially past the first 5 or 10 picks that you might hear about in social media or on TV or something. But I know John and Kyle and all those guys, they do such a good job of finding guys that fit what we do, fit our culture. Obviously, you want the best football players, but you want guys who obviously fit what we do as well.
Do you remember what people said about you, and in retrospect, was it fair?
I for sure remember. I for sure remember everything. It was fair though. I think that's their job. Guys, that's everybody's job during this process, is to try to break guys down, see what they do well, see what they need to work on. I was a project. I was coming in positionless, basically. Just a raw athlete ready to be molded, and so I came into the perfect situation.
There's a lot of guys like you in this building, 3rd round, 5th round, 7th round, whatever, that have had a big impact. What is it about this place? Why do you think it works out? And do you preach that to these guys that come in, like, hey, look at me, look what I did?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm not even like the poster of what guys can become. You've seen guys who, even in later rounds, who've done a whole lot more than I've done. I think the important thing to always remember is it doesn't matter where you're drafted or even undrafted. You know, once you arrive on a team, it's all about what you do going forward. You know, everybody's looked at the same. What you do in between those white lines is what really matters, and what you're going to be judged on. You know, I was told early on by Coach Sala that, you know, you hold the pen to your story. You know, whatever you want your legacy to be, you are in full control of that every single day that you step in just on the facility grounds, and especially on the field. But you know, you never let somebody else hold the pen for you.
What does DeSean Gibson returning do for your defense?
It's huge, obviously, with the amazing talent and player that he is, which he showed again last year, but also in the aspect of being a leader, a seasoned veteran for that room. You know, especially losing some guys in free agency, but just kind of having that veteran leadership presence in that back four.
And the line on Wilks is that he's not going to change much, but have you got a sense on whether he's going to change anything? I mean, will there be wrinkles, things in the back end that are different?
I'm sure time will tell. You know, the fact that he has that background of coaching defensive backs and you know, really being involved in that part of it. I know he wants to be hands-on with those guys and tidying things up in the back end. Just from kind of seeing things this first couple weeks of OTAs, I know he wants us to be more aggressive. That's kind of been the thing. Like as I've been here more, like and grown in the system and seeing it progress, you see that we want to be more and more aggressive in the front seven. So you know, like I said, time will tell.
Fred, John Lynch was talking about you know, trying to identify guys in the draft that have the right football spirit, that, you know, are going to play hard. I mean, all the cliches, it seems like, you know, everyone's going to be like that. But do you, in your interactions with the Niners before the draft, I don't know, do you remember anything specifically as far as them trying to identify, does this guy love football? Does this guy, you know, gonna play his ass off, all that stuff?
Sure. Let me just say, I would never want to be a GM or a college scout, because I'm like, I don't get how you can, you know, you can handpick these cats out of all these different schools all over the country that, like, and you're saying that this guy's gonna turn into something, you know, like, and it's all like projections, you know, you don't really know until they come here, and you know, and you try to develop them, and there's so many different things that go into account of a guy's development. But I think in terms of when they brought me in, just really sitting me down, having these conversations of, like, not even just all about football, but just you want to, like, just talk to a kid face to face, like, because obviously you see it, you write up these reports about him, you watch them on tape, and then you want to know, like, all right, well, when I sit down with a man-to-man, like, what's that conversation like, you know? And so you can usually get a good vibe about it. The guy's just kind of, you know, has lines written down, he's kind of just rehearsing them, or if he's, like, being genuine about what he's saying. But even then, it's like, it's all words. You know, you can say whatever you want. It's what you do, though. When what matters, that's what matters most.
That's good.
Cool.
Thanks.
Thank you, Fred.
Thanks, Fred.
Thank you.
Should be right up.